Chat means to me equality. Um, it means togetherness and honor.
When kids come, they feel sometimes they feel a little scared because it's the first day and they don't even know how to talk in English and they cannot not understand what they say. And then when a little while goes and goes, some days, they get analyzing, they don't get any scare anymore, they just feel like home.
Well, whenever you move here, it could be very scary for some people, especially for a kid. They might not speak English very well. You throw them in, they come from, whatever country they may come from, Iraq, Pakistan, Syria, anything like that. And then you throw them into the public school in the United States. And it could just be very overwhelming. So that's my favorite thing about Chad, I think, is that, after school they can come around here, they can be around people they're comfortable with, they can talk to people that understand them, they can make friends. And I think one of the coolest things about it is that, we're in an apartment complex, we're literally on like ground zero as far as the community goes. We're integrated right there, and now they're friends with their neighbors. So they have someone to hang out with outside of school.
The children I meet at Chat remind me of my own story, because whether willingly or not, they are the product of the sacrifices that their parents had to make in coming over to America and just trying their best to make a good life, whatever that means for them. And I guess for me, the best thing I can do is just to help them write that next story for their family and for themselves.
When I first came to Chat, I started liking it because there was a lot of people who did their homeworks, enjoy, and we had activities to do, and we had like a lot of clubs to help us out.
I come once a week and I basically work with the kids the whole time. I'm at Chat Academy. So the first hour we work on homework, and if the kids don't have homework, we usually find them something to do, whether it's reading or math. Usually it might be in a subject that they still need some help in, and so we do that. We work with them with those skills that they still need to build.
So more and more I come to Chat, I learn more. I get more intelligent and I get more smart.
My mom thinks that Chat is gonna help me improve my skills and my matureness and my grades.
It doesn't even feel like we help people just because I enjoy it so much. But yeah, we help people with anything that they may need as far as, acculturation, the stresses of moving here, the isolation they may feel.
Whether it is providing English classes or tutoring or art classes for the people that we provide services for. And in my mind, it really serves this whole holistic, comprehensive model of benefiting a community that I hadn't never really seen before until I came to Chat.
If you have a solid foundation of community support and supportive people around you, everything else from there can be built up. I think the biggest thing that we're trying to do is build a connection.
The changes that it makes in these kids, it's very obvious to see, just making them feel more comfortable where they should feel comfortable. In a country that might be unfamiliar to them, but it's their home. So they have to feel comfortable here if they want to succeed. So giving these kids the opportunity to succeed, it means a lot to me.
And then the second hour we do an activity, usually a fun activity. So it's either art, we work on STEM, there's also yoga and Zumba. So it really depends, and it depends on the day. Each day varies.
My friends, they get lower grades. They usually know I get 80s and 90s. But when I get hundreds, they get angry with me. But then they told me, what's your secret to get 800? And I told them, it's Chad. Chad is the one who's helping me.
When I work with the kids, especially, I really see in them that they are just like how my parents were when they came over. My parents came over to America back in the 80s as refugees from Vietnam. They were fleeing an oppressive situation. They didn't have any other options except to leave the place where they've grown up and the only place that they've known. And so when they came to America, they came into a new environment that was unfamiliar to them. They didn't know the language. They didn't have the resources that would have enabled them to be the best functioning members of society. And for me, what Chat does is basically serve as that bridge that my parents didn't have growing up.
Every penny and every second that of time and money that is put into Chat is worthy.
If it wasn't for the volunteers, first of all, this place wouldn't exist. Like, this place runs on the volunteers, and I respect the volunteers so much just because, like, you know, I did this for an internship, so I guess you can't say it wasn't completely volunteer based, like I got something out of it. But there's people here who are college students, who work multiple jobs, who still find the time to tutor for 2 hours a day for these kids. I know how busy that life is, how hard money is to come by, and to you know, make that kind of sacrifice, it just means a lot to me.
My experience actually with Chat is great. Chat is helping me to grow my grades more and more all the time. Like in science, I only get 90s and now I get hundreds. In math, I only get 80s and 90s and now I get hundreds. In reading, I got a 70 and 80. That's when I got super angry because I want to be on the honor roll, and then I got hundreds and I get hundreds now.
I think that I'm like a brave and confident girl. I learned that I could be a hero, and I can defend myself no matter, like, if someone is like being rude or something.
I think one of the biggest things is that I've been able to see kind of the community grow, at least the people that I've been with, and along with them, I've been growing as well as a person. You know, I have a lot of like cultural roots that are similar to the people I'm working with, but it's different because, you know, I was born and raised here, and it's interesting to see kind of the differences and how I've learned to like empathize with all the differences that me and some of the kids and all the people I'm working with are. And from that I can almost step into their shoes and see, like, you know, how they have been positively impacted with Chat and all the stuff that we've been working with. And it makes me feel really great that, you know, there is someone out there to help.
Chat provides a whole lot of services that encompass a whole variety of different aspects of what it means to be a member of a community.
There's really no better way that I could help people than like working here, I feel.